the guy should be in federal prison and potentially like I don't even know, like tarred and feathered for some shit like that. That's just insane.
Tarred and feathered.
Tarred and feathers. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Objectively, the most underrated podcast, not only in real estate, but in the entire universe, aka The Walkthrough, where each and every single week we walk you through this week's trending topics in real estate. My name is Dan Oneil, and joining me today on this week's episode, I am thrilled, I am energetic, I am so excited to have my co-host, my friend, total face guy, Mr. Eric, the broke agent, aka Eric Simon. Eric, we're just 23 days away from Success Summit, aka the Super Bowl of real estate. How many microblades and facials have you gotten? Have you gotten a hair transplant? And how are you today, buddy?
I got a haircut scheduled in 2 days. So it'll be 3 weeks before. Well, I guess the conference starts August 22nd, actually. So it'll be perfect 18, 19 days before. And I'm getting a facial next week. Skin will be perfectly clear. I cannot wait for the TF Summit and to see all of you there. And just in case, I got 2 extra faces right here. So I will be good.
I need one of those in my hotel room.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of my hotel
I'll be
room,
in there. You don't worry.
We are also joined by returning guest, veteran. Thank you for your service, as per always. Maybe the hottest man in content right now from the Space Coast, Mr. Shane Burgman. Shane, how you doing? Will we be seeing you at the Bam Bash?
Definitely, man. And I actually, I'm
fight somebody again this year?
I'm going to try, but I made this shirt last year for Tom Ferry. And I was like, it'd be great, man, if I just threw this shirt to him. It says red is the new black. I was like, going to promote Summit. It's probably the dumbest shirt I've ever made. So I never gave it to him.
But
I'm
everybody
wearing
shirts. Is that like your thing? You made me a shirt last time too. Remember
I made you and Jason Cassidy a shirt. And then this is the other one. But yeah, I will be at Success Summit, amped up for it, flying in on Sunday. Got some cool stuff planned. And as always, guys, I appreciate you allowing me back on this podcast. I'm like kind of perplexed as to why, but I appreciate you guys.
Because you bring nonstop value, Shane. That's what you do. You are a content machine. And every time you come in here, you have hot takes. You read the articles. You know what you're talking about. People love you.
And you're just the hottest man in real estate.
For
the first time ever, we are thrilled to have on Miss Marie Lee, a.k.a. Move Me to Tennessee. That rhymes, from Nashville. By the way, I also have a referral for you after this.
All right.
How are you today? And thank you for joining, and welcome to the Thunderdome that is the Walkthrough Podcast.
Dan, I'm great. Happy to be here and ready to chat more shop with you guys. Let's go.
Let's talk shop. Today, we are talking diabolical practices of agents that have been recorded on Ring cameras. Can't make it up. What not to say to a consumer the first time that you meet, and the pushback on that article, Eric. August content and much, much more. But if you're listening, if you're watching, if you're Diane Simon, please take 1 second here. Throw us a like, throw us a comment. Let us know what you think of the show. We appreciate you very, very much. Let's get into it. Topic number 1. Titled, this is not my words, titled, Grosses Me Out. Homeowner reacts to what realtor did in her home. Got milk? Gotcha. Real estate agent nailed for chugging milk from a seller's fridge. The Washington Post milked the story. See what that was
nice.
Me.
Good one.
Laughs at his own jokes. You know they're good.
Thank you. After a home surveillance camera caught Mikey Rose, by the way, I have a Mike Rose on my team. This is not him. Drinking milk straight out of the container at a house he was showing. The British Columbia Financial Services Authority, my God, that is a tongue twister, a government agency tasked with regulating the Canadian province's financial institutions, on July 18th, deemed his actions unbecoming under the British Columbian Real Estate Services Act. They fined him 20,000 Canadian dollars, or approximately 15,000 USD. It's about 3,000 pesos if you're in Mexico. The agency also ordered Rose to pay an additional $2,500 Canadian dollars, or almost $2,000 in enforcement expenses. Record show. We got to play the clip, right? I mean, this guy's chugging milk out of a refrigerator. What in the world?
Yeah, this guy 30 minutes before a showing goes into the fridge, takes out the carton, and just chugs it raw. Here's the video. There he is right there.
Mm-hmm. This guy.
First of all, it looks like he's just wearing shorts and a hat. Not great shot.
Why is his hip moving like that? What's wrong with his hips? Oh
he
my
knew where
God.
this thing
Was
was.
it a double
too, by the
hander? I
way.
didn't realize it
Yes,
was
he
a two-hander.
He opened-
Did he
Oh,
two-handed on that one?
He opened that fridge up with absolute authority and took it straight from the carton. He did not pour himself a glass of
He was
water.
looking for something else. He was going
He's
for a
like,
second piece.
Yeah,
This guy looks like
there
he's
he
the home
is.
inspector.
Yeah.
And that's it
Oh
right
my
there.
God.
Thank you, Haley. Just moving on with the
Dude,
showing. Just like that.
If you would have told me that like that was a homeowner, I would have believed you. That guy knew exactly where it was. That wasn't his first time.
No.
That was not his first time doing that.
No.
And for context, he took the entire gallon of milk, put his lips on it like that after it was already on the seller's lips. That is absolutely criminal. And I guess the context of this article is we're going to talk about some of maybe if we've ever had any stories or if we've ever been caught on a Ring camera, but also what we think of that. Eric, I'll kick it to you. Have you ever, like, you get all these memes and all these funny stories. What's maybe like the most diabolical thing you've ever heard or seen from somebody with a Ring camera? And what did you think of this guy just slamming this milk? I mean, did he deserve a $20,000 fine?
Yeah, I think he did. There's something very eerie and uncomfortable about this. Just the fact that he thought that he had the authority. Yeah, he was gooping around like some
He looked like the guy from Men in
intergalactic
Black.
figure. It was very, very strange.
You ever see the guy in Men in Black? He's like, more sugar. Like, that's
Sugar
how I got
water.
Yeah, more water, more milk.
Water, sugar. He, it was one of the most ridiculous things that I've seen on a Ring camera. I've been sent a bunch of crazy stuff, but I actually had a story happen to me, and it's not crazy, but it was just embarrassing. And it should help realtors always have their antenna up anytime they're showing a house. I was at an open house in Brentwood at one of my listings, and one of the clients asked, or one of the buyers asked, is this building facing east or west? I had no idea. So I just said east, I thought 50-50 chance. About 25 seconds later, I got a text from the seller saying it's actually facing west. So I looked like an idiot. I should have known the answer to that. And clearly they were watching on the patio with their Ring camera. So you always have to be, weary of the fact that something like this is happening. And like opening the seller's fridge, maybe I think it's kosher to take a water bottle. Maybe if there's 3 or 4 water bottles, because then like if you're dying of thirst. So this guy said that he just started a new prescription. He was dying of thirst. That was the context of it, which is also crazy to me that he went for milk out of all
Milk, right?
water.
What?
And then the Ring
He knew
camera
where that
also
was.
caught him sitting on the couch during the showing. So not even showing them around. And then he like broke one of the like couch armchairs as well. So this guy clearly was just making himself at home. So
I mean, it also one bad apple
cameras.
ruins it for everybody, right? Like it makes the entire industry look. That was brutal.
Of course,
like
because these, like, you don't hear good news about real estate agents. You don't hear Shane Burgman or Marie Lee just closed a deal, in 30 days and everybody was happy. Contingencies were like, it was perfect, right? You hear these stories and it makes real estate agents look like morons. Go ahead, Marie.
Oh, I was just going to say, isn't this like a perfect commercial for milk though? Remember like those 90s ads where it was talking about like got milk and how strong you'd be, and this guy chugs his milk and then breaks a couch armchair? Like, milk needs to go ahead and get on that. Like, this could be a really great marketing tool for them. Yeah.
He just has the mustache with like the buyer show up.
Oh, that's disgusting. Milk is a disgusting thing to just drink raw over the age of like 13 when you're just trying to, get more hits in Little League. Shane, what are your thoughts on this?
Cup. Like, if you're going to be that much of a savage and you're going to say you're on a prescription, just put it in a cup. Like, you literally put your mouth on it. That is foul. Shane, what's the craziest thing that you've done or seen?
I'll get to that, but this guy, I mean, from further context on when he did this, it was during the pandemic. So, and the only reason the lady found out about it is because they had a second showing, and this guy, no one ever showed up. So she went back to her footage to see if they ever showed up, and then she saw this guy doing this shit. So, yeah, I think at least it undermines the confidence in the public about real estate agents, and we don't have a great reputation as it stands. But yeah, not only did the asshole show up 30 minutes early, not only did he drink out of someone else's milk out of the fridge with children and shit during the fucking global pandemic, and he broke their couch. Like, absolutely, the guy should be in federal prison and potentially like poured, I don't even know, like tarred and feathered for some shit like that. That's just insane.
Tarred and feathers.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's in Canada, man. I don't know what they do up there for punishment.
What's really interesting is on my MLS now, they actually just made this on One Key. They made this a standard. It's paperwork, and it actually goes on our listings, right? You have to actually get it signed by the homeowners to say if whether or not they have cameras, Ring camera, indoor camera. and which I actually like really like. I tell my team, just like, even buyers, like, hey, listen, if you don't like anything in the house, just wait till we go outside till we get to the curb. But even still, like sometimes that Ring camera can pick it up. And I have some kind of wild stories of just, some people letting it spray or talking crap about the house, or like even just an agent saying something to me and I'm like, that wasn't good. And so now I always just tell everyone, just wait till you get to the curb and then let's talk. You never know. But I found it really interesting that my MLS or my association adapted that into paperwork and on the MLS. I don't think anybody ever looks at it to see if there's a Ring cam. Like, you ever seen the tiny ones that are like, right by like the TV small. Like this? It's like in a teddy bear. You don't even know. Like,
I got one in my house. Yeah. I got a Ring camera on me at all times because of Miles. We have my dog. It's called a Furbo. So I'm constantly being watched.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
In my own apartment. It's crazy.
Can't you send like the like treats to him too and stuff?
Yeah,
like
we
that?
shoot him treats. We could talk to him, ask him how his day is. He converses with us. It's great.
Shane, my probably worst ever was I was talking about a female, when I was single, to like, just guy kind of talk.
Sure.
No disrespect, nothing disrespectful, just
no, definitely,
of course, no,
right?
of course.
But we were all the way at the curb, and seller texts me and goes, "Hey, we can hear you." So, from that point forward, I was zip my lips about everything. Right, beautiful house. Have you ever had anything happen like that to you? And then I'm going to pass it to Marie.
It was an interesting situation where I sat on the MLS committee locally in our Space Coast Association here. And so we have coming soon campaigns, and during a coming soon campaign, the house cannot be physically shown. We had an agent report another agent for showing the property during that coming soon. We're like, how would she know? There's no way. And she literally lived across the street and used her Ring doorbell to show someone was entering the property. And then the argument was like, how do you know that was a buyer, not a vendor or a contractor performing work? So like literally we were all kind of like in this stage, like trying to like figure out if this person was in violation of the coming soon campaign. They were not, because it was like too ambiguous. But like, I was like, that's almost an abuse of like surveillance on your neighbor's home during an MLS listing. I was like, that to me was like kind of wild.
Yeah. Marie, there's no way that you have any wild stories, right? Like you seem like the nicest person on planet Earth.
I feel like I need more sellers, or I just need more people in general to have surveillance in their homes, because there was this one time I went to go and show a property. It was a tenant occupied property, and I had scheduled this showing maybe about a week out, and I got to the home and just was walking around the exterior, noticed that a back door was open, and thought that was odd. So I walked in, and if they had a surveillance camera, like this would have been gold. I would never have to work in real estate again. A naked man came out of the basement, and there were boiling eggs. Like there was like a little kitchenette in the basement. This guy was like boiling eggs and was naked and wrapped up in a towel. And I tried telling the listing agent, like, hey guys, this is, I thought the property wasn't going to be occupied. I thought somebody was going to be off. And they're like, oh, well, they didn't even know who the guy was. They didn't realize that this person was living in the home. It was like a subtenant of the property. So if I had surveillance in this case, I probably would have looked a lot more sane. But me trying to convey this message, I think just took all type of, sense and everything out of. They didn't believe me in this case, but surveillance would have helped.
A crazy thing to make up. You saw a naked man boiling eggs.
We did. Like, boiling eggs. Imagine, like, you just got milk right there.
Boils eggs.
Gas in the milk.
Yeah.
Milk's disgusting, but the smell of boiling eggs is also repulsive. So it's like, as
I don't think I even know what boiling eggs smells like. Like, who boils them?
Sulfur.
I mean,
eggs smells like eggs.
It's terrible.
I've never had an egg.
Anyway, of course.
Yeah, of course. I'm a picky eater. All right. Anyway. All right. Let us know what you think about this milk guzzling agent. If he should be thrown in jail forever, or like Shane said, tarred and feathered, or if you have any funny Ring camera stories, and make sure to like and subscribe here. That was just that might have been the most insane story we've ever covered on the show, and we've done some. All right.
You know what, Dan? Here's what I think about that. Like, this guy obviously hasn't been to the Tom Ferry conference where he would know that he cannot go into a place and chug milk. So, by the way, you got to join us, because that's what they teach. That's what Jason Pantana teaches at the TF Summit. You got to join us at the Tom Ferry Summit, because we are hosting Bam Bash, which is co-hosted by Coffee and Contracts. And we are throwing a huge party on August 22nd from 6 to 9. It is going to be a rager. You have to come. But first, you got to go to the Tom Ferry conference itself. If you want to do that, you want to get the cheapest ticket in town, use code PRBAMSS for $100 off. That is PRBAMSS AMSS for $100 off. And Dan, I got another surprise here for the listeners. If you're listening to this right now, we are giving away 2 free VIP tickets to the TF Summit. There's a link down in the description, and you also get to come to Bam Bash, hang out with us, drink for free, and rage. VIP tickets, link down in the description. We are going to announce the winner Monday on the hot sheet. So we will see you at the TF Summit.
They got VIP. They got VIP like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you get VIP at Bam Bash, you get to go hang out with Dan for 3 hours straight. You get to be in his pocket. So,
buddy, last year, yes or no, was I not sitting there like a scribe the entire time? I took 85 pages.
Yeah, you became Daniel Diels. We know it was a
right
huge
here.
evolution. Yeah, there are the notes right there. It's like a beautiful mind, just random drawings.
Beautiful. Yeah, there's a lot of drawings.
That is fantastic.
Anyway, we will see you there. What an ad read. That was very incredibly impressive. It's not even an ad read, which is great promo there. Very excited for it. Can't wait to be there. Topic number 2, speaking of August and the Super Bowl and Success Summit and success in general. Speaking of success, we have Eric Simon here. Topic number 2, August 2023 content ideas for agents. August has a grand total of 0 real holidays, which is kind of actually like nice for once. Holidays end up being a constant excuse as to why something can't get done in real estate or a real estate deal. And these are Eric's words, so I probably should have let him read it. But it's good to establish a little normalcy as we head into the summer. Also, July is always the worst content month in terms of clicks, views, and opens because nobody's paying attention. Everyone's on vacation and so on and so forth. So we welcome August with open arms. Eric, there's about 99.9% chance that you used ChatGPT for this.
Of course.
Why don't you go ahead and break down some August content ideas that you came up with, and then we can go around and share some of ours.
I don't have many, to be honest. I am excited to hear what Shane and Marie have, but this is what I got. I know there's a couple of fake holidays that you might be able to trend jack off of. August 4th, we have International Beer Day, Shane's favorite day. So maybe you can go into certain restaurants, talk about your favorite cold ones, maybe list them green screen style, 1, 2, 3. These are my 3 favorite places to get a beer in this community. It's not a bad idea, right? And
no, he'd be rather Sauvignon Blanc than beer.
I think it's International Friend Day too on the 4th.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, we can celebrate that together, Shane. And 2 days ago was International Girlfriend Day. August 24th happens to be Strange Music Day. Now, would I announce that it's Strange Music Day? Probably not. I don't think that's good content. But I always like taking the music angle for open houses. Poll your audience. What music do you want to listen to when you come into an open house? What music do you listen to on the way to a listing appointment or after you crushed a listing appointment? You know, these are sort of things you could pull your audience on or do a funny video on. And then obviously it's end of summer, back to school content's going to be huge. Where do you go shopping? Where can you get the best deals? That type of thing. So those are my August content ideas. Yes, go ahead.
So far on the show, if you're a fan, we've talked about the summer solstice, right? We talked about the moon, the tides. We've talked about farm crops, all those things. Who makes these fucking holidays, right? Like who just says, hey, August 4th, International Girlfriend Day? I feel like that's every day. I see National Puppy Day every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You can petition for any holiday you want, and then
so I can
just make it.
We should have. I've always said we should have International Realtor Day, where nobody can reach out to us, and we just have one day to ourselves, and there's complete silence across all of our clients and everything. Marie, let's start with you. Yeah. August content ideas. What do you have coming down the pipeline, and what are you filming? What do you got for this month?
Okay, well, first off, I love thinking of like themes. So back to school content, I think is very relevant. But as a former teacher, I think I'd take the spin, and instead of like back to school for kids, I think of it like back to real estate school. So posting like, hey, if you're trying to get into your home before the holidays, like let's go ahead and start setting the tone now. Like what steps do we need to take now to get started like with a real estate process? So like coming at it from an educational point of view, maybe I would do like a weekly series for a few weeks where I'm bringing on vendors or things like that. And we're talking more about the process. So more with like, lenders or the title company or inspectors, almost like a boot camp, if you will. So that'd be my personal approach.
That's a great idea.
Outside of that, I feel like trending trending news could be great. We haven't talked about aliens yet. I feel like aliens are all over the news. I feel like there's got to be a way to tie content in with aliens and like real estate right now. So I don't know. I feel like a lot of people have the idea of making a move to Tennessee to like live a homestead lifestyle. So I think my personal approach might be like, hey, if you want to like, live off the grid and you're trying to, be outside of the aliens purview, like we've got a spot for you. In fact, I found go ahead, Dan.
No, you go. You finish.
Jen's jumping through his skin right now to talk about aliens.
I found like an 80-acre property that's on the outskirts of Nashville that was a former bomb shelter like in the 60s that's underground. So like I definitely have the perfect property to showcase. So Marie, I don't know.
You are wrong, actually. You think aliens will just attack big cities. Have you seen the movie Signs? It's a remote location. It's cornfields and crops. And
the crop
not attacking any of us. You fools.
It's called probing. Have you seen Shane? Have you seen Signs?
Have you ever seen Scary Movie 2, Eric?
He's walking through like still gets me to this day. It's like the scariest part of the movie.
I love the general in Science. He's like, it's called probing. It's a military procedure. It's a covert operation. You know that guy? And Meryl's just sitting there looking nervous.
Look,
love the alien point. Big alien guy here. I've been trying to convince Eric that aliens are real for 7 years.
I believe they are.
No, you don't.
And Marie, I also love the point of spinning educational content into real estate school. That's brilliant. In fact, it's so brilliant. I wish I came up with it. I'm actually upset with myself.
Good.
Oh man, you missed your opportunity.
Yeah, I did.
But
good job.
Yeah, let's go. All right, Shane.
What do you got on the docket here?
Yeah, you always got some.
Man in real estate.
Well, I had a couple things. So I read the article you guys put out, and I think it was incredible. Like the 3 favorite places to go restaurants. I think you showed a Jason Cassidy video as like an example. So kind of like leveraging green screen to be able to do that. I feel like it's such an awesome way to do any kind of content around that. As far as like, Daniel.
Yes.
Hi.
We're just laughing because we talk about that Jason Cassidy.
We talk about you and Cassidy every week.
Cassidy's got a good video. Well, it's okay.
The video was good, but like the implementation of the green screen, I think, makes doing those videos so much easier. Because before we would have to actually go to all those restaurants. I would drink like 30 beers. Not saying that's a problem, but it's like I get sloppy after a few. So I think green screen is great for that. You guys, like the back to school thing in my mind was like now that the kids are back in school, like routine changes. Anytime routine changes, people kind of go into like this weird mental place. So I was on the other side of like a relaxation mode for the parents because now they have a lot of time on their hands. So I think Tom Story talked about this recently, how he did the manicures and mimosas. So I was like thinking like as an event for your clientele, your A-list clients, do some sort of like relaxation thing for them, a giveaway, whatever you can do to get crafty. And then also like just following real estate trends, like how the cyclical nature of real estate works. Like I think uncovering some of that data as we're like into the second month in the Q3. I'm an analytical guy, so I always like to show trends and how I feel like this year was a little bit delayed as far as like the apex month that we would normally see in like May or June. And then summit content, man. I'm doing a ton of shit with that. Going to summit and collaborating with a lot of the amazing agents that are going to be there is my like what I'm really excited about. And we have a ton of video ideas and content ideas for that in the queue. And we've been working on this for about 3 months.
Really? Huh. Eric, are you doing a video, Shane? Marie,
yep.
Are you? Oh, you are?
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah, it's on the list. Yeah.
Wow. That's weird.
Shane and I are flying in at the same exact time. Yeah. We have a 2-hour time slot to film content. Yeah, we are.
Same bed. You're not? Same bed. Same cold.
International Friend Day, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's international. Yeah. Marie, are you going to Summit?
I was just talking to Haley about this, and we're trying to find the way for me to get there. So I'm hoping to be there. It'd be my first Tom Ferry event. So
nice.
Super excited.
Well, I know how to get there. You go on Expedia and book a flight.
ASS 24. What was it?
ASS 24. I'm like in the middle of traveling during that period of time, so I'm like trying to figure out where I would be. Like my airport where I'd start would not be the airport that I'd end up, so I'm just trying to coordinate all that. But I want to take advantage of some time with Bam, some time with Tom, some time with Coffee and Contracts. So I think it'll be a great time overall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dan, do you have anything? What? Timeout? Yeah,
I
go
was gonna
ahead,
say,
Shane.
there is a holiday in August.
Is there a
Women's
holiday?
Equality Day is August 26th.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
Women's
Whip-
Equality Day, August
Oh.
26th. You'll be at Women's Equality Day, Dan. We
Uh-huh.
also have the
Cool.
Women's World Cup, which is going on right now. August 26th, college football starts, the U.S. Open for tennis. So these are just some ideas to get the gears moving for content. Dan, do you have anything planned?
Of course I do. And I'm going to pretend like I'm not incredibly offended here by Mr. Shane Burgman after we shared 3 bottles of Sauvignon Blanc together and he made me a shirt right here. But to all of your points, what we've been doing, and my buddy Charles Weinrob has been green screening the best diners in town, the best places to go get Chinese food, pizza. They're getting like 400,000 views. It is actually insane. So I'm going to start doing some of those. I love the back to school points. I had that written down as well. We're going to be doing a ton of philanthropy. So we're going to be filming that, right? Like, back to school drives for the kids that are in need, giving back and starting to plan for next year. Like a lot of agents don't realize now is the time to start getting all of your SOPs and all of your plans ready for next year because it comes up like that. So maybe making some content on that, reporting our numbers, reporting on the market, what's going on, our local absorption rate, because people want to know what's going on. We're in a record low inventory, so on and so forth. Recruiting, what you might have to offer, or if you're a solo agent, right, like what your brand has to offer, more success stories, because, if you think back on the last couple of clients you've probably had an incredible journey, right? So posting more success stories and put your face out there. Unless you look like Eric, then maybe wear a hat every time and make sure that your camera's from 1997. But other than that, put your face out there, share your story. We love August. We love these fake real holidays. I'm actually on Wikipedia right now, and I'm making my own UFO day. So I'll see you guys at UFO Day in Nashville, Tennessee with moonshine. Keep the change.
Yeah.
Keep the change.
Come on, yeah.
Any final thoughts here before we move on to the worst question that an agent can ask on their first phone call here by Tom Toole?
I got a final thought, actually.
Sure.
If you want to become a content machine, you got to join BAMX right now. This is our private community. We have the best agents in the game. We have my Instagram course. We have Haley's Canva marketing course. We have objection handling with Tom Toole. Our community is growing 10s, 20s by the day. It is absolutely crazy. Use code WALKTHROUGH, WALKTHRU, for 10% off. Get in BAMX right now, and you will also get a 25% discount to a in-person BAM event, which we're not mentioning yet, but we got something coming up September 20th, end of summer BAM camp, little teaser right there. All BAMX members get 25% off. So you're going to want to get in there right now. It's coming up. Best community in the game. All right, let's move on to topic number 3.
You know who's not going to the BAM camp is Shane Burgman.
Shane is going, and Shane is actually speaking at BAM camp.
Well,
Hello there. Hi guys. How can I help you?
All right. Topic number 3. By the way, at BAMX is literally a cup of coffee, and it is. My team loves it. We're utilizing it every single day. Byron's in there doing live chats, talking to everybody every single day.
We got bi-monthly live streams, and the community is great. So get in there.
All right, number 3 here. Topic number 3 from Tom Toole: the worst question agents can ask on the first phone call. Do you guys know what it is? Well, you probably do because you read the article. It is, are you pre-approved? This is one of the worst questions a real estate agent can ask a prospect during a first conversation with them. Let's see up the video really fast, and then I'm going to.
Yeah, interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this. This is Tom Toole's opinion. We got a lot of pushback in the comments on this.
We'll get to those. Yeah.
Are you pre-approved is one of the worst questions a real estate agent can ask a prospect. Imagine if you're on a date, first time you meet somebody, and you ask the person sitting across from you at the table, hey, how much money do you make? Hey, how much money do you have in the bank? That person's probably going to get up and walk away. Yet, knowing that happens outside of the real estate transaction in the real estate world, real estate agents constantly ask this dog shit question. Are you pre-approved? Here's a better way to ask this. Are you planning on paying cash, or do you want to finance? It's a very different approach because you're assuming, hey, this person could be a cash buyer, or maybe they need to finance the purchase. And you don't want to ask this question during the first 2 or 3 minutes, maybe by the second date or the third date. So the second appointment or the third appointment, you can work these things in and maybe even preface it with, hey, if we want to present an offer on this home, the seller's going to want to make sure we can get financing. I'm sure that's not an issue here. So are you planning on paying cash, or are you going to finance the purchase? Make it about getting the home and not, hey, this person's only going to be worth my time if they have a pre-approval. Because if you take the approach of the latter and ask that horrible question, are you pre-approved? You're going to lose business. No question about it. I'm not saying don't qualify.
All right, shut this guy up. We get it. We get it.
All right, so
Get him outta here.
Tom is saying here, and
Can't.
I adamantly agree with him, like to the 1000th degree here. There's ways around that question, right? And there are innocent questions that you can ask to lead you to that example. The ALM script, right? Appointment, location, motivation. We'll get into that in a second. To Tom's point, like imagine you're online at Starbucks or you're on a date, right? You're not going to ask somebody, hey, what's your credit score? How much do you have in the bank? They don't know you. You're just a Zillow connection. You're a random person. We've had this problem with my team where we'll go back and listen to our calls and they're like, oh, the lead's no good, right? They're blah, 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 blah. Then we listen to the call and the first question is, hi, my name is Dan Oneil. Are you pre-approved? What? The person immediately just shuts down. Who the hell are you to ask me? Like, fuck, buzz off. So what we do and what my team is trained to do is right appointment, location, motivation. By asking these innocent questions, it will lead you to your answer, right? If you say, hey, like you set the appointment right away, what about this location at 123 Main Street? Like why Smithtown? Why New York? Why this area? They're going to start telling you about themselves, right? Oh, we've been looking for a long time. Lived here, lived there. That's location. Now motivation. Hey, why are you guys looking right now? How long have you been looking for? We've been looking for 8 months. Oh, well, you're probably pre-approved. You know what? We just started the search. This is the first house that we clicked on. We just wanted to go take a look. They're probably not. But now when I meet them in person, and before I even meet them in person, I'm going to send them a front-facing video. Hi, my name is Dan Oneil. I'm super excited to meet you. Just wanted to put a friendly, ugly face to the name, right? If you have any questions before we meet on Saturday, I say that joke every time. If you have any questions before Saturday, feel free to reach out and let me know. Really excited to meet you guys. See you then. Then when you build rapport with them and you're walking around and you actually now are meeting them and talking to them, you can build a little bit more trust. You can't ask somebody right off the bat, hey, you've been pre-approved? And I saw all those comments of people saying, well, I'm not going to waste my time. And we've all been there. I get it. But in today's market right now, with a random lead that doesn't know you from a hole in the wall, that's clicking on Zillow, that is the worst question to ask. And my last point, my BPMs are really high here. I'm
There's more.
Fired up.
ALM script, something like that, front-facing video, build rapport. Biggest thing is just literally set the appointment, okay? And then the one objection, this is my last point here, we get this all the time, is some sellers and listing agents do require a pre-approval to see the home. So now at that point, I will call that person back and say, listen, I am so sorry. I hate to do this to you, but the seller is requiring that everybody comes in with a pre-approval. They don't want random strangers walking through the home. I can connect you to my lender in 2 seconds. I know you don't know me. It'll take 2 seconds. Just have a convo with them. He'll spit out a pre-approval and we'll be good.
I disagree.
Of course, let's go.
I feel like
that's why
the
I
analogy. So I strongly disagree with the analogy. I spent way too much time this morning figuring out what the analogy really should be. However, I agree with the ideology of it. So the analogy of Tom's, you're on a date and you ask someone how much money is in their bank account is not the same as me asking if someone's pre-approved. The actual analogy would be like if I'm on a date with you, Eric, and I ask if you have a job, right? That's the actual analogy. And how many times does that question come up in a first date? Every single time. Okay, so there's a better way to ask it. Well, let me tell you the better way to ask the question, because I'm not going to directly ask you, are you pre-approved? My question is, and it's how we train our team, when was the last time you spoke with a lender? That's going to answer every question you have about it. If they're cash, they're
going to lie their ass off to you. Let's role play that. Ready?
Yeah.
Hi, Shane. I'm interested in 123 Main Street. I saw you had it listed on Zillow.
How much money do you have in your bank account?
$0.
Great. You're a perfect candidate for a lender.
Let's really role play.
So the question would be like, all right, Dan, let's do it. Let's try it.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Burgman. I'm interested in 123 Main Street. Can I have a showing at Saturday, 12 o'clock?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to schedule that show in for you. Just a couple of questions for you. Sure. When was the last time you spoke with a lender? And I'll go straight into it.
I spoke to my cousin yesterday. Saturday, 12, good? Or
so your cousin's a lender?
Yeah. What is that? Yes, my cousin's a lender. Is the house available? It said when I clicked on Zillow that it was free Saturday 12. If it's not, I could call the listing agent.
You could call the listing agent, but I'm only just trying to ask these questions because the sellers do ask that anyone that goes through that home is pre-qualified or has some sort of credentials to show that they're actually interested in buying the house.
Sure. My uncle, Shane Burgman, if you want to, really get into the nitty gritty here. Shane Burgman's my uncle. He owns, 14 brownstones in Queens. Yes, we have plenty of money. You got to take my word for it.
Great. No, I trust you.
Okay.
Let's set it up.
See you Saturday. Are we confirmed?
Damn,
We're
you
done.
sound like the sketchiest buyer of all time.
That's how they all sound on Zillow.
Yeah. So when's the appointment? Yeah, my cousin's he's a lender.
They lie.
It's an innocent question that isn't intended to, you know, develop. I don't want to offend anyone by asking that. The question is structured enough to where someone can be like, oh, I haven't talked to them, or yeah, then maybe they'll make up a line. Either way, it will open up other questions and other conversations that will come through naturally. And I totally understand like why people would not feel like asking that is correct or not being so blunt about it. I get it. I get all sides of it, but a lot of the comments in there are spot on because many of us agents have wasted way too much time working with unqualified buyers when we had actually buyers that we should have been delegating that time to, and we couldn't because we had some jackwagon that wanted to kick the can down the road because we didn't ask the appropriate questions up front.
Yeah.
That's just my stance on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Marie, what do you think? I mean, we've all wasted times on buy it, right? But like, it's one appointment. You know, I think everybody here right now would kill for one, you know, an extra appointment a week or 2 appointments a week. And you're not going to show them 10 homes before you ask them for pre-approval. It's just kind of getting in front of them that first time, then.
Yeah, I think my approach is a little bit different, but that's because I think I conduct my business in a different way. I have a lot of inbound appointments being set. Like I am not sourcing appointments. I have people scheduling appointments with me. So if they're scheduling an appointment with me to talk with me and get an understanding of the area, like I know that they're motivated. So I'm just having a conversation with them, like on the front end when they're scheduling this call. I'm like, hey, what is it that I need to know? And then I'll ask them on the phone, like, hey, tell me about your move to Nashville, or tell me what we're looking to accomplish today. So I let them lead that conversation. And then from there, I might give them guidance on like, hey, have we had conversations or like financial conversations with a lender? If they say yes, then I'll say great. If they say no, and I'll say, well, hey, here are our next steps. And I'll go ahead and send them my list of preferred lenders. Say, hey, before we get ready to start seeing some homes, we want to make sure that we've got the finances in order. So I feel like I don't really take on appointments for people who aren't qualified, but I also take the ownership of like, hey, these are our next steps. And unless we meet these things, like we're going to be on hold. So once you get these things taken care of, let me know and I'll be happy to schedule some things. I don't really have people who reach out trying to view homes sporadically, like just casual window shopping. I would say this is a question you should be asking to your referral partners. If you're taking on a referral, if there's anyone who has wasted my time, it's not organic buyer leads. It has been agent to agent referrals where maybe the agent hasn't done enough pre-qualification on the upfront, where I have gone through and shown homes and, gone on appointments, done like relocation trips. And it turns out that maybe the buyer truly didn't have a job secured in Nashville, but they said that they did, or maybe they truly don't have the finances. So I would take a spin on this in this case, like, hey, I might ask these buyers these questions, but if I'm taking on agent to agent referrals, this is a question I need to start implementing with the agents who are trying to send me business. So Dan, I don't know about your situation, but you mentioned
he's good by me.
Okay, so yeah, but I would use that as a qualifier for referrals.
And there's a lot of context around it too, because it's like, Dan, if it was a Zillow call, like, of course that's going to be crafted a little bit differently. But something that I've implemented and I've talked about, I think, on this show before is the implementation of forms for any lead that comes in. So if you were to like reach out to me, assuming it wasn't just, even if it's a Google lead, if you're a Google lead and you come in, you're like, hey, I want to see this property, I'm going to respond back. It's going to be text. I'm going to say, hey, happy to help, excited to work with you. When you have 2 minutes, can you please fill out the following form? I have a form that is like a keyboard shortcut on my phone. It's a Google form and it asks them how soon they're looking to buy, if they're pre-approved or working with a lender, if they're cash or financing, price range, where they're looking to buy, where they currently live, and a couple other questions there. It literally takes them 2 minutes and it knocks out all that shitty questioning that you have on like that initial phone call. And anytime I tell people about that, they're like, no way, it's a form. It's too clinical. Like, think about any other service that you go to. Like, you're filling out a form talking about the pain in your back when you're going to a chiropractor or what else hurts. Like, you're going to the doctor, when your medications you're allergic to. So the forms for me have addressed all of those questions. And I've sent it to 90 people in the last 12 months. And like 83 of them have filled that form out without even hesitation. They fill it out. I have all their data aggregated. I know where they're coming from, how many of my buyers are working with lenders or not. And it just queues up next questions. It's just like, to me, that's been the game changer for my business, the forms. It's not the questioning.
I think that makes a lot of sense too. And I think you're right, though. It is kind of context, right?
Yeah.
So if it's a Google lead, if it's somebody that knows you, like, yeah, okay, it's going to be a different conversation, right? Than a Zillow lead. I'm kind of just, I have Flex, right? There's only 42 teams in my entire metro that have it. I think we're like top 10. So I am just like drilled, right? Like ALM. You have to say the word appointment 30 times for it's like pick up, right? So we're just drilled in this way. And honestly, though, it really does work. Like all the percentages and their metrics, like it works for a reason. But the problem that I see is like, if I don't ask you, Shane, if you're pre-approved, right? Or if you've spoken to a lender, but then I look over at Eric on my next phone call and Eric maybe doesn't look like you and I don't ask him or vice versa, that is a huge issue, right? So if unless it's a uniform like process, right? And I bet when Eric goes to read some of these comments, like I wasted time on this, I wasted time on that, you don't know who you're talking
Discrimination.
to. It could, so you have to just keep it, whatever it is, your SOP, whatever your question is, right? Like that you asked, right? Have you spoken to a lender lately? You got to ask everybody, or that form's got to go to everybody because you never know. And you don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable or alienated. So
for sure.
That
and a lot of time though,
context.
Like when you ask that question, we might not be asking it in the format of like trying to save our time. It might be because the person doesn't even know they're supposed to do that. Like how many first-time buyers have you worked with and they have no idea that they're supposed to talk to a lender or when, you know? So by asking that question, you could actually be educating them as well. So I think by thinking about it like that, instead of like, I'm trying to be the master and protector of my time and make sure that everyone has a pre-qual and they're working with their cousin before they ever fucking open a door for them. Like that was probably mindset of a lot of people. But if you're like, I'm literally like asking to like make sure that they know like the process, I feel like that might
look
be
at
easier.
like, so for example, and when Eric pulls up the comments, I haven't seen them yet. I would guarantee that an overwhelming majority of them are going to say that it's a time waster. And like, you got to think of the stigma around us, right? Like that guy, we just showed a clip of somebody chugging fucking milk out of somebody's refrigerator. So now, right, that's already the perception in these people's head. And now we're asking them what their financials are. It's like, you ever go car shopping, right? And you walk into the dealership and immediately they're like, hey man, like, let's run, or hey Marie, like, let's run your credit. Like, whoa. I just got here, man. I'm just looking, right? Like that's kind of like the same scenario, right? And I guarantee you though, Shane, that a lot of these comments, Eric, maybe we can pull it up, Haley, they're probably all people talking.
Yeah, we don't. I'll read some of them. I mean, they're basically 50-50 down the line. But someone said, this is some dumbass advice right here. Professionals ask the tough questions, educate, and don't tiptoe around the obvious. Even in the first phone call, homes move fast in our market, and there's no reason to waste anyone's time, yours or theirs. Someone said, disagreed. It's not a date. It's a business transaction and a logical question to move forward. You're making a large purchase and asking me to dedicate my time and attention to guide you through the process. So there are things I need to know so properly. Then there's a lot of agreement as well. So I think it's kind of 50-50, but I like Shane's tactics. I like Marie's. I like yours, Dan. I think there's a lot of ways to do it. I mean, basically, Tom is just saying when you first talk to a buyer, obviously the first thing you don't say to them is, awesome, cool. Are you pre-approved? Like the way you just work it in more naturally within conversation.
Do that.
You ask them their sign first if they're a Scorpio or a Capricorn. Like, everyone knows that.
Do they believe in aliens or not? What are
He's
your
just
signs,
raw dogging the questions. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just watch
like
that
guy
show.
raw
So
dog
good.
that milk. Marie, what is your sign?
What is my sign? I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm what does that mean personality wise?
I think that I'm outgoing, adventurous, full of life. So I think it's pretty spot on. But yeah, I'm not a really signs kind of gal.
I was talking to a girl on Friday or Sunday night, and I'm like, yeah, my birthday's February 16th. They're like, you're an Aquarius. I'm like, what does that mean? And they literally wrote it out, and it was like actually a very descriptive of my life. Like
all the signs are pretty spot on, I must say. It's
spot on.
Pretty
like
crazy.
General information, but like once you start reading, you're like, shit, that does align with me a lot, and then it starts.
And then the aliens come down and UAPs, and the first thing Tom Toole asks them is if they're pre-approved, and they just have a bazooka gun pointed at his forehead. And
back to the milk guy real quick though. Did you guys? So his name was Mikey Rose. I feel like that headline should have been Milky Rose. Like I feel like that was good. Like the low hanging fruit. And maybe we make shirts. This is like
I like
free Milky Rose.
I like the headline just says realtor guzzles milk. Like that's just
Something crazy.
So
I bet that guy asks people how much money they have in their bank account on the first.
I mean, that guy probably just tries to steal out of other people's.
He can't be in real estate anymore, right? Shane, what is
no,
he?
He still is.
He
was very apologetic about it too. He's like, "This was so unlike me. I don't know what was going on." All right,
Dude.
whatever. That story's long gone.
that
That
story's
was not
over,
the
but-
first time that he did that. Like, I'm so sorry. That's so out of character. No.
Milk thief, man.
You waltzed in there and you knew where that was.
He knew
scoped
he knew
that
the
out.
expiration date of that milk. He didn't even look at it. He
Yeah.
went straight in for the kill. It was ridiculous.
I thought he was the milkman. I thought he was
Yeah.
the one delivering the milk.
Dude, milk-
I've
dude,
never
milk-
been. Oh, go ahead.
No, go. I was going to make a stupid joke.
I was gonna
milkman.
say I'm never been more grateful that I'm lactose intolerant. I'm both a real estate agent and then like if I were a seller, like what a disgusting time. Yeah,
Wait, is it intolerant or intolerant?
intolerant.
You can't be lactose and tolerant.
Like you can not tolerate.
You
Eric's
can be
personality. You would be
lactose
intolerant
and
to Eric's
tolerant.
personality.
Well, correct, but
I've always said that. So
you can't physically just be lactose.
Yeah, you're
Yes,
right.
that'd be saying you're
Yeah,
lactose. You're lactose, and then also you're just tolerant of things.
You are what you eat, so maybe you're
Yeah,
just
it is.
consuming way too much dairy, but you're just
Right.
putting up with the side effects anyway. So
Right.
anyway, wouldn't
Anyway,
want to be that.
let's move on to marketer of the week here. We got my enemy. No, we got this guy. Let me explain something here real quick. So this guy Kyle has been absolutely crushing it on Instagram and TikTok. Viral videos. He did one that you've all probably seen if you're watching this, where it's how a Gen Z person shows homes. I think it got 2 million views. He did a couple other running videos that we're going to play, talking about interest rates rising or dropping, and then he did another one that we'll also play. But this guy's been absolutely crushing it content-wise. So let's play one of his videos, and then I'll tell a little story about how I ruined my relationship with him.
This is a rap video. I'm leaving
How
the
I
show.
like to, and how I need to issue a public apology to Kyle Toomey. So this is the first viral video he did. 2.2 million views. Play it.
But it's over, then you're driving me home, and it kinda comes out as I get up to go. You kiss me in your car, and it feels like the start of a movie I've seen before. But it's not real, and you don't exist, and I can't recall the last time
Incredibly
I was
athletic.
with
Holy.
you.
Oh, man.
It feels like the movie I've seen.
So brilliant take right there, establishing the point that Gen Z has no attention span. So he's running through the house. He's actually showing the house. He put a great TikTok trending audio that made it seem like this was a TikTok. So it's like making fun of itself, but it was still a great way to promote the listing. So it's funny to other realtors. And then it's also funny in general to consumers. And then he did an interview too, where he said that I think he got a couple calls from this of people who actually wanted to see the house. He got someone reached out for a listing. So awesome job by Kyle. And he's been creating a ton of content. I think this is his first viral video. And then let's play one more of his videos here where he's doing this running thing, which is also genius because he's just in constant motion. So it really picks up the eyes right away.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't even like a sick listing either. Like I paid attention to that.
So this is when interest rates were dropping.
Kid loves running. Holy shit, he's fast.
So if you're just listening on Spotify, first come over to YouTube and watch it so you can see all these. But another just genius, it's a great hook. It's talking about what's going on in the market. Love what Kyle Toomey's doing. Let me get your guys' thoughts, and then I'll issue a public apology to him.
Fast as boy. He is an athlete that is entertaining. And again, that first house, like this is no disrespect. That wasn't like a Sag Harbor, East Hampton, $5-10 million home. Like it caught our attention. We all watched. I probably would have watched that again just to see him jump. That was very athletic. So that caught my attention. He has great videos. I'm gonna go follow him if I'm not right now.
Yeah, his frolicking is second to none.
Yeah.
But Kyle puts out a good variety of different content, and he's like a super good dude. If you just follow his content, you're going to see a lot of diversity there. With that last video you played, something that kind of agitated me a little bit was I saw a lot of other agents do that exact same video after Kyle and didn't give that dude any fucking credit. And it pisses me off. There was actually one agent in particular that I commented on and I feel like the whole R&D of that can be done in like a way that it's like, give the guy a little bit of credit for doing something awesome. Don't rip it off and fucking make sure like it's your own.
Yeah.
But
all you have to do is
that video was awesome,
tag,
man.
tag Kyle in the video
Yeah.
and say inspired by Kyle
Give him
Toomey.
some love, dude.
Mhm.
Give the guy some love. If you're the asshole that did that video and replicated Kyle and didn't give him any fucking love, man, fuck you.
Oh, geez. What if Shane's going to fight it? Take it easy, man. All
I
right?
will. I know
God,
you'll be
yeah,
at Dallas, my guy.
Hey, Shane, why don't you go make a
Yeah.
T-shirt about it, huh? Since you're so
Red
passionate.
is the new black. Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
Marie,
Yeah.
first time on
Duke
the
it
show. My God, she's
If he
you know,
finds the guy,
I am
that ripped
red.
off
Jesus.
Kyle Toomey's content, he's
I know
gonna
who it
throw him
is.
over the ledge at Bam
I
Bam.
know who
It's
he
ridiculous.
is. I'm
I'm
bigger
gonna
than
make
him,
a
too.
T-shirt.
I'm bigger than him.
I'm gonna give it to him.
I
bigger
want
than you,
Shane
Shane.
in my corner anytime I've got like some kind of internet
Some beef.
trolls. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna start tagging Shane in the comments. Be like,
Do
Shane,
it,
do
man.
your thing.
Sick
Yeah,
him like a
I'm
dog.
your I'm the best friend you ever have and the worst enemy.
yeah. No,
That's why
I
we
think
keep
it's-
having him on the show.
Love it.
Keep him in our good side.
Hope that
I
makes
think
it short
it's
clip, though, for
great. Like Kyle's content's great. I know a lot of people who were inspired by that, obviously, because it's relatable. Even we were doing a showing the other day, and my husband was like, "Now, can you get a video of me running through this multi-million-dollar property like that one guy on Instagram?" And I was like, "Oh, you mean Kyle?" So it's just so funny how one video can create such a brand awareness. I feel like that video in particular. I mean, I'm not going to say he wasn't a household marketing name to begin with, but I feel like a lot of people have him on his radar. So when he's coming up with all these other additional videos, it's really just solidifying the deal for him.
Wait, what's
Yeah,
that?
he's crushing it, and the fact that people
He
are
is.
ripping him off and replicating it just shows that he's doing something that's super engaging and that is, changing the game. Like, this is very unique real estate marketing. Like, every week we try to find something that's new, and this is certainly one of those.
What's the last name? Did I copy him? Because I
To
did
me.
something very Muni.
No, yours
To
wasn't
me.
Gen Z. Yours was just going quickly through. See, that's another thing
Yeah.
too. We always talk about this, Dan, cryptonesia, where maybe that agent saw that video, a couple months back, and then was thinking about their video. It's just like, okay, I'm going to do a video like this. And they don't remember what they saw because you're scrolling so much. You see videos. This obviously happens all the time in like the meme game. It's like, did I see that on, attorney problems?
Yeah.
I see that on this account.
Actually,
Like, where is this coming from, basically? So you always try
Mine
to
was
give
4.5
credit.
minutes long, so I'm safe.
Yeah, that was not for Gen Z. That was for boomers. If it was for
That was YouTube. That's long form content right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll
I was on
put people
IG.
to
That was
sleep.
just I didn't have any other ideas. I'm like, I'm just gonna I love the house. Film it. Film me. All right.
Sorry for clearing my throat right there. I thought I muted
You're
it.
good.
Anyway, Kyle Toomey, I would like to issue a public apology to you. This is what happened. I DM'd Kyle after I saw a couple of these videos. I was like, these videos are fantastic. If you ever want to collab on anything, let me know. I get a text from Lindsay Joe, who was facilitating the connection between myself and Kyle Toomey. Kyle Toomey had a video that came out last week. She said, hey, do you want to collab on this? I was on a Zoom at the time. I looked at the video. I was like, this looks good. Didn't really pay attention to it. I was like, yes, I'm down. He sends me the collab request. I didn't accept it for like 24 hours because I was like, you know what? This actually isn't my style. And then I just kind of forgot, just moved on with my day. Then Lindsay texted me saying, hey, are you going to accept this collab? And then I just was like, yes, sorry, accepted the collab. Afterwards, I kind of felt guilty about it because not only did I let him hang for 24 hours, but it also didn't feel like something that I would put on my page. Like, I thought his first two videos were more in line with the Broke Agent brand. And this one was just about a last second offer coming in. It's still a fantastic video, but I was like, it's not really my style. So I uncollabed, which is psychotic. So not only did I wait 24 hours, I accepted the collab and I uncollabed because I started to feel guilty that I just kind of didn't give up my brand, but I felt guilty that I didn't collab. So then I accepted it.
Dude, that is.
You realize how insane that is? So Kyle,
collab, dude. Oh my god.
and it was not a smart move by me. I felt really bad about it. And then it took away a collab from him and his other team members that were actually in that video. So Kyle, I apologize. That was a psychotic move on my part. I was all over the place that day. I should have just been straightforward from the beginning and just said, don't want to collab on this one, but would love to collab on a future one. And I would love to collab on a feature with one video. And you are crushing it right now. And I apologize for the collab and uncollab. That was ridiculous behavior on my part. So full responsibility on me. Yes. I'm a moron.
What a guy of
There you go.
accountability here and integrity. Eric, anyone else you need to apologize to? I mean, we only got
There's a lot of
another
people.
3 hours. You got anyone else? Anyone else around here you want to apologize to? Shane, you got any apologies? Marie, you definitely don't. But
I'm
you're
not sorry for anything.
we didn't know. But I got are we doing that or?
Dan,
should
I'm sure if we want to do an apology show, you have more than 3 hours worth. You
Well, I
got
have an entire
week's worth.
I have an
of
entire
content
Tom
right there.
Ferry notebook worth of. This is all just people I need to apologize to. It wasn't even a
85
note.
pages. Yeah.
So do
All
me a
right.
favor, everyone listening to this, go follow Kyle Toomey. Let's blow this guy's page up. Go watch his content because he is absolutely crushing it. Go follow Move Me to Tennessee, Marie Lee. Great content. Shane Burgman, always revolutionizing. Always, I don't know if that's a word. Yes, he's revolutionizing the game. Go follow Danny Deals. Join BAMX, okay? Use code WALKTHROUGH, WALKTHRU. We'll see you at the Tom Ferry Success Summit. We're throwing Bam Bash. It's going to be epic. See you all there.